Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. My name's Adam Florio, and I'm the UK Sales Director for Element One. And hopefully, after this 30 minutes, you will understand a little bit more about Element One and the products, what we do. So Element One is a family-owned business. It's been running for about 20 years. It was set up by two college friends called Torsten and Ralph. And originally they started manufacturing from a garage, and then now it's moved on. So 20 years later, we work from a self-contained factory facility in Kuppenheim, which is near Baden-Baden in Germany. And everything is done in-house there. So we have our own design facility, all our manufacturing, everything's done in-house. We're self-reliant, we don't outsource products, we build it all in-house to our own specifications. So we're in control of the build during the build time, which is obviously very advantageous because a lot of our work is customized work, and it allows us to work with the client to develop the product. And if there's changes during that design process, then because we are handling everything ourselves in-house, we can stop the production run, retool or redesign whatever we need to, and then continue on the build. So that's what it allows us to do by doing everything in-house. So we are a manufacturer. We manufacture the motorized screens ourselves. We don't buy any products in, everything's done in-house, as I said. They're fully customizable. So rarely do we do a standard off-the-shelf product. Generally, the client is working with a design consultant, and usually AV consultants as well, but the design team would contact us and give us an idea of what products they wanted to end up with, and what materials and finishes that they wanted to implement on that product, so that it's in keeping with the boardroom furniture. So it's a boardroom installation. Everything would then match from a design point of view, from a color point of view, color palette point of view, so you get an overall feel so that the furniture works well in the room. Yeah, we work with designers, architects to achieve that goal. So we are a design partner. We have a design partner team. We can help people with their designs and to accomplish what they want. We have all of that in-house, and we have those services available to us. So we work with the design team to bring their dream into life, bring the client's vision of what they want, and help them to achieve that. There's some of our products. Our products are developing all the time, but we cover most motorized retractable monitors. We've got some monitors that aren't motorized, that are what we call passive, that are non-motorized, but the majority of our stuff is either vertically or horizontally retracting from furniture, so it's a built-in product. We don't manufacture lifts or hoists for iPads or for any other people's products, because we find that the screen and the design of the screen is such an important aspect of it. We don't really want to be involved in screens that aren't up to our standards. We've got very high standards of what we want to achieve, and we want the overall design to fit into those standards. So it's easier as well from our point of view to design the lift around the screen, and lift together in unison so that they work properly and there's no problems later on down the line. There is one exception, which is the Vaso spacer, which is I'll go on to in a minute, is one of our products. So it's a universal mount that allows screens to lift out of the desk, but it's a very specific product. So our products have got several key features. We build our enclosure first, and then we fit all of the components inside that enclosure, rather than doing it the other way around and ending up with some weird diametrics, diameters of a cabinet. All of our stuff's like will be 110 millimeters rather than 106.4. We build the enclosure first, and we work out how we're going to fit those components inside that, so we sort of reverse engineer everything out at that point. So it makes it easier from a design point of view, because all of the measurements are all standardized. They're not weird and wonderful measurements that are difficult to work out. Also from a consumption point of view, because we're the originator, so we've got a lot of the original patents that we can use in our products that other people can't. We've got stepper motors we use. They're 12-volt DC stepper motors. So the advantage of using them is they're pretty much not silent, but very near to silent. We call it whisper quiet. They're around 40 dB operating level, so it's below a conversation level, which some people might think is not that relevant. But if you're talking about a boardroom with 24 monitors in and delegates are coming in before the meeting to have a chat, when the AV guy presses the button and 24 monitors rise out the desk, the sound can be noticeable, and if it interferes with people's conversation level, then that's not really optimal. So we try and make everything as quiet as possible. Also, with the stepper motors, you're talking about very low power consumption. So our power consumption on average is about 15 watts per unit. Our competitors is 60 to 80 watts per unit. So multiplied over, you know, in a Senate or in a government building, it could be 200-300 monitors in an assembly, you know, and it's like it all adds up for our carbon footprint is lower because we're using lower power consumption. Also, the weight of our products is very low. We go for very low weight, which is easier for transportation. And all of our products come with a 5-year warranty because of the components that we use. So all of our mechanisms are really, they don't need servicing. The service life of them is very good. So we use like our gears and our mechanisms are a certain type of self-lubricating Delrin, so that there's very little to go wrong. So hence our stuff has a 5-year warranty. We can offer that because we've got confidence in our products. And often our products will sit for 8, 10, 12 years. Sometimes we get a call back after 10 years and go, we love your products, they're all working great, but when we ordered them, the technology back then was 4x3, it's now moved on to 16:9. We want to upgrade the monitors, so that's a common situation for us to get involved in. It's repeat business from customers saying we love your product, but we now want to move forward with the latest technology or higher screen resolutions. You know, they want to go to 1080p or to 2160p. They want to change resolution, then that's something that we can help them with. So yeah, applications. So predominantly boardroom video conferencing, but we can do all sorts of stuff now, particularly with our touch screens. We've got point of sale is a big thing that's coming towards us now. Reception desk, concierge, meet and greet. Any station that requires or banks, you know, where you require some security. So at the end of the night, whether it's touchscreen control or whether it's from contact buttons, all of our monitors can drop and secure the data that's on those, sensitive data that's on those is secure. So banking obviously is one where that's really relevant, and we can help them with their security from that point of view. And also you have to think about motorized screens. If you've got a boardroom, the traditional way to do it would be to have at the end of the boardroom one large fixed format screen, maybe 55 to 80-inch screen at the end of the boardroom. Everybody's looking and facing that screen. It's becoming more and more popular and more used way of doing things to have individual monitors, partly because of, you know, some of these boardrooms are quite big and people at the back might not be able to see the TV properly, and they might have forgot the glasses, or they don't want to say that they can't see the screen. But if you give everybody a personal monitor that they can look at, productivity will generally go up because people can actually see what's going on, and you can then supply individual content to each delegate's screen, and you can screen share through wireless or through fixed physical box inputs and allow people to share content between themselves. And also from a security point of view, one big monitor stuck at the end of the boardroom with people walking past the office, it can be displaying sensitive information. If you're looking at a monitor that's directly in front of you, there's a much better security aspect to that. So products, the first products that we've got up on this page here are Converse products. Now Converse screens come vertically out of the furniture, out of the table, and then they can tilt back up to around 20 or 30 degrees to get a good viewing angle. So the furthest one on the left is our entry-level one. It's like a sort of base entry-level product that's built to be competitive price-wise. If you're doing a rollout of multiple units and it's a price-sensitive project, then the Converse one is a good option for that. Flex is in the middle. It's a slightly thinner, higher grade product, billet aluminium, brushed aluminium back cover. And then the blade is the one on the right, which is thinnest in class. So it's 8mm. There's nobody else makes a monitor that's 8mm. And the blade also comes as what's called a fold. So the problem that you often get in vertically retractable monitors is that by the time you have got enough leg room to allow enough leg room to sit at your desk comfortably, and then you'd need some sort of kickboard vanity panel behind that's going to hide the enclosure. When the screen raises up and then tilts back 20 to 30 degrees, you're now probably about 60 centimeters away from the screen. So to use as a touch screen, it's not very ergonomic and not very comfortable. So the Fold is a device, it's a blade, and as well as coming out of the retractably out of the desk, it then travels towards you, and that distance is adjustable by the user. So it allows you to customize your experience, and you can set those parameters in a bit like a electric seat, motorized seat in a car. You can have different settings. So you or your partner could get in and press your one button, and the seat adjusts to you. You can do that with our devices. So if one user's constantly using it, then it's set to their way to do it. And then showing some of the tilting angle. That's a blade that's tilting back. So because you need to be able to tilt it back to get a good viewing angle. This is a modus. So the screen is normally face down and you're looking at the back of the screen, and because this can be mounted from underneath the table, and a thin section of the table veneer or finish can be inlaid into the back of the monitor. When the monitor comes up, you see the screen. When it closes, you don't see it, it's invisible. We also do that in a rotating version, which is quite popular with banks. So that's another option. This is a Vaso. So this one is screen up all the time, and it comes up at an angle to 90 degrees. So it's embedded in the desk, but it's screen up. So that's a picture of the back of it, so you can see how it works. All of these can have a keyboard and a mouse built into them, so that's possible to have that as well. That's the Vaso, which is a very unique product, generally for control rooms, but it can be used across multiple applications. But that can take any monitor, within up to around 30 inches, and it can be built into a custom-built enclosure. So it's quite a unique product. Socket X is our table-mounted cable cubby that is a connection point. It's modular, and it's available in 4 different sizes, from 140 millimeters up to 260, I think now. So that is that's our cable cubby connection point, but also the thickness of it is 100 millimeters from top to bottom, and our screens, our vertically retractable screens, are 100 millimeters. So you can have it in a line all the way across. So you could have a monitor, motorized mic, so like a mic lift, then a socket X, then a mic lift, then a monitor, all in the line, so it all looks flush. So from a design point of view, it always looks good. Those are some mic lifts there in the center, so they're motorized gooseneck mics. Press of a button, they can come up as the screen comes out the ground, out the tabletop, sorry, they can come along and copy the direction of it. Some of the features of some of our products. So they've got dry contact, so it's a D-sub connection that allows you to move the contacts that are sometimes the on-off button that's sometimes on the front panel. You could move that to underneath the tabletop or desktop to hide it away. Or it's also got a TCP/IP control port. So if you were going to integrate, say, 12 screens in a boardroom environment, you could run Cat5e, well, it wouldn't be Cat5e for video nowadays, Cat6, Cat6a, you'd run from a distribution amp or from a matrix, and you could run an individual cat to each monitor and plug that in, and you can control, from that point, you can control a video source via 4K over IP or HD-based, however you wanted to do it. And you could also control the commands of the screen, so the screens could rise at the same time, go down at the same time. You can change the angle that they pitch back at all remotely. So if you're using a backbone system like Crestron or AMX, our stuff is software agnostic, so it's not running its own bespoke software. It's the TCP/IP side of it means that you can program it from any format to do that, and it will work with that. Another thing we've got is the DAA, which is direct axle access. So what that means is if you're installing in a project and there's not yet power on site, mains power on site, and you want to test the monitors, just with a flathead screwdriver, you can go to the bottom of the monitor and you can pull the monitor up and down, or vice versa. If there was a power cut on site and people wanted to leave, but they wanted to leave the monitor secured, from underneath you can open and close the monitor. So it's just a good little feature. Like I said at the beginning, we mostly work with designers and design houses to produce what the client ends up wanting, that's going to fit in with their overall scheme, their feel of the boardroom or the environment that we're working within. So the raw materials come into our workshop. So the brushed stainless steel and extruded aluminium comes in at one end. And because we do everything in-house, it runs through our CNC machines and our milling machines, and we can build whatever anybody asks for. Really, it's just down to cost feasibility. If it's a smaller order, it becomes quite costly, but because we're doing everything in-house, there's no really limitation as to what we can achieve as far as delivering products to customers. And we get special order stuff all the time, so a good proportion of our time is spent on, we have our own special orders wing, which deals with smaller bespoke orders that are going to take a lot more engineering time to do, and that then keeps us on track with our normal build and our normal product run. But yeah, all of our stuff's unique, and it's really just down to the imagination of the designers, what material they want it in. We just finished a project that the design team said, look, we want to use Vaso screens. Sorry, it was Converse. We want to use Converse screens, but we don't want round buttons. We want to use square buttons. So we just retooled and created square buttons for that application. They wanted it in rose gold. We manufactured it in the rose gold finish. So anything's possible, really, to do there on that front. So this is an image of a back of a screen. It's a blade, and it's showing you that the blade is available to be mounted on any other hardware. So although we're using one of our lifts, a Converse lift, to lift it, it can be mounted in a different way and mounted to another bracket or a fixed bracket, so it allows us to be versatile with the screens. So that's pretty much the end of the presentation. I just wanted to talk to you guys really about the services that we can offer from the London office. So we have now the capability to offer a lot more services to our customers. So rather than remotely dealing with issues from our main centre in Kuppenheim in Germany, but now we have a London office, it allows us to offer a lot more, and that's particularly like better on-site support. So if there's issues with installations, it allows us to visit site now and help out, because a lot of the problems generally, if they're to do with setup, can be sorted out on site. Also swapping out units, if there is ever a problem, they've got the 5-year warranty, but if there is ever a problem, we can assist with that and the repair of the unit. And it's generally just more helping you guys with potential clients, visiting clients with you, and just representing you, helping to represent you best with the client, and getting out of the project what the client wants, helping deliver that. And if you want to get hold of me, my email address is on there and my contact number is on there, and you're welcome to call me at any time, and anything I can do to help, please let me know. So thanks very much for joining us, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Okay, thanks very much.